is up, good people? It's time for the newest edition, actually, episode 9 of season 3, Notes by Notes, right here on Facebook and YouTube. I got the crew back in the stew, minus our homie K-Dot. I got my homie AP on the ones and twos.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Jay? How you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling great. How are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm here. Hey. What more can I ask for?
But did you see how I rhymed? I put all those together.
Oh,
wicked. AP on the ones.
JJ.
Oh, man, we got a great show lined up for you guys today. We are going to get into the allegations of racism and misogyny within the Phoenix Suns organization. Also, we have the newest edition of Go Crazy, Simmer Down, your favorite segment of the week. And then, of course, we're going to get into some NFL football discussion. A lot of news has happened throughout this week. But first, before we get started, let me tell you about our friends over at A to Z Skin and Hair. A to Z for Skin and Hair offers a bevy of hair and skin products that have no preservatives and are made with love, like their rice water, which is used to promote healthy, strong growth of the hair and prevent dandruff. Also, their moisturizing hair butter for everyday styling, their rapid growth, which is a perfect mix of all natural oils, and their gang beard oil, which I use before the show and every single day to keep my beard game on fleek. To contact A to Z Skin and Hair to find out more about their products, give them a call at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567, and let them know that the crew at Notes by Notes sent you. AP, are you ready for a show?
Oh, yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's go. It's time to get it. Let's go.
You've heard of hot takes, and you're probably tired of hearing the same old talking heads repeating the same stuff over and over again. The time has come for the game to evolve, and just like in sports, there are a select number of individuals who are leading the evolution of change and pushing the game forward. This isn't just a sports podcast. This podcast is about how life, culture, and sports all meet at one intersection. This is the new wave. This is the new sound. This is the evolution. This is Notes by Notes.
All right, folks, thank you so much for watching us right here on Facebook and YouTube. It's been a great week. Great week of sports. AP, how has your week been so far?
Man, I'm gonna do like Kate I did last week. I'm gonna keep it PC. I worked hard. No, just all is well, man. I made it through Halloween. I made it through November the 1st. I paid the mortgage. The lights is still on.
Amen.
So I'm feeling all right. We 5 days in, ain't nothing cut off.
It sounds like we thankful in the month of thankfulness, right?
There we go.
Hey, Thanksgiving, about 3 weeks down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for the beans, tomatoes,
greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, rams, all. Hey.
Exactly. I can't wait. Can't wait for the pies. Can't wait for all of that stuff. Again, but we do want to thank you guys for rocking with us on Facebook and YouTube. If you have not done so, please go to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. Hit the like button on the Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Support is free. Love is the tip. I came up with that saying. I
love it.
The Godfather. It is perfect.
There you perfect. Go. I love it.
All right, folks. So to get started with the show, so it seems like some more shit has hit the fan in professional sports. This time, not the NFL. It is the NBA. And we have began the show like this in this fashion for, I believe, the past 3 episodes. Well, I'll just call it 2 episodes.
Give or take.
But there were allegations of racism, misogyny within the Phoenix Suns organization. And the owner was the one who was accused of saying these things. And I read some things. I read one of the excerpts inside the report, and it talked about him saying the N-word several times without any remorse. Yeah, that sounds John Gruden-ish, right? I didn't know that our guy who's the owner for the Phoenix Suns, Robert Sarver, is the NBA version of John Gruden, because this is exactly what John Gruden went through, and it only took 48 hours for John Gruden to be fired by the Las Vegas Raiders. So now in the NBA, we look across the road, we look across the tracks. We're trying to see what's going to happen to Robert Sarver. AP alluded to a great point before the show. She talked about Donald Sterling, Robert Sarver, excuse me. Donald Sterling was caught up in the same type of issue back in 2011, 2012, somewhere around that. Probably actually like 2015.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, like 2015.
15, 16, somewhere around
there. And everybody came out. Chris Paul came out. Blake Griffin came out. And they all supported the NBA and saying, yo, he needs to sell the team. He needs to be gone. We don't need that inside of our league. So here's my issue. And this is the angle that I'm coming from today. When there are things that happen like this consistently, obviously there's a culture issue at the top. Whether it's the NBA, the NFL, whatever it is, the NHL, there's some more stuff going on in the NHL too, where players were sexually harassed. But whenever it comes to these professional sports, it's crazy how consistent now all these reports are with the gripes that the players had in the past. Either the owners don't really care about us, or they're doing something shady behind the doors of the organization and making the team look bad. Mm-hmm. It happens more frequently than not. And my point is, sometimes the people at the top are bad people. But their wealth covers their transgressions. I honestly believe that. I feel like that these people who own these teams feel like they have the license to say and do whatever. And there were a number of people involved in this report, by the way. 70 former and current Suns employees described a toxic workplace created by the owner, not just of the NBA team, also the WNBA team. That says a lot. And they also asked Earl Watson, who's a former head coach for the team, and we all kind of wonder why Earl Watson didn't last there. This kind of tells you. An ESPN report, or a reporter asked Earl Watson, or he made a statement. He said, I am not interested in engaging in an ongoing battle of fact. Instead, I want to apply the courage of the numerous players, executives, and staffers for fighting toxic environments of racial insensitivity, sexual harassment, and microaggressions with their truth. That's a lot.
Saying a lot without saying a lot.
How traumatic must that be? He doesn't even want to talk about it.
Right.
He's like, I'm not interested in answering your questions about this guy who I worked for previously because of how bad it was. But he also said that he will revisit this. Earl Watson went on to say, basketball in 17 years in the NBA has allowed me the financial privilege to speak my truth. But we can't forget about those who must remain silent for fear of losing their jobs. Mm-hmm. What did he say, AP? Saying a lot without saying anything? Mm-hmm. That statement says everything to me. Absolutely. Everything. Like, this is literally, the month of October has been the month of boogeymans. Like, it lived up to the hype. Right. At least where professional sports is concerned, also kind of in the college football realm too. Mm-hmm. Urban Meyer, October. John Gruden, October. Robert Sarver, right outside of October.
Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Ooh. The NHL Blackhawks, the Blackhawks, everything. Spooky, boogeymans. That's what they are. They are wealthy individuals who feel like they have the license to do whatever they want to do. And obviously, the example that has been made out of the other people that have been caught up in this hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything. Because if that is the case, we would see some change. What do they say about the NBA every single year? The NBA is a players' league. It is a players' league. Do we think that they're going to put up with this?
They should not.
They should not. And I don't think they will.
I don't think so, man.
I don't care if Robert Sarver was a multi-billionaire, which he probably is.
Oh, yeah.
There is no way that he is going to retain ownership rights to this team. We saw what happened to the Washington football team. That's another one.
Forgot about those guys.
Forgot about them. I feel like they were the snowball, the proverbial snowball that started this whole process.
Mm-hmm. But it started before October, the investigation. So that's why.
Yeah, that's why.
But everything came out in October.
Everything came out. Yo, this whole thing going on inside of professional sports is kind of like leading up, and I don't mean to be insensitive by saying this, it's kind of like leading up to the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like leading up to that. Maybe the pandemic in professional sports are these wealthy guys who have had money, who have owned teams, and no longer need to have that type of control. Maybe they all need to relinquish this. Mm-hmm. Again, we talked about the report on the NFL, the Washington football team. How many owners, how many people are involved in that? We will never know because the NFL is never letting that out.
They won't say.
But that speaks to what the culture is at the higher level of professional sports. In some cases, with the WNBA, I mean, this was the first time that I've heard anything been mentioned about the WNBA or a owner of a WNBA team where they were misogynistic or racist. Mm-hmm. So, and we definitely need WNBA season will start next year. Y'all need to be tuned in. Y'all need to support these women. They're great at what they do.
Light it up.
Light it up. But I think that this is a indictment on the people at the top. It doesn't matter who you are. Because every owner, Jerry Jones was caught up in some mess. Every owner, every coach is kind of in some mess. It is what it is. That's what these people are. But my point is sometimes the people at the top are people or bad people, but money covers up their transgressions. I mean, my hearts go out to these people who continuously deal with this type of stuff because me being someone who is pursuing a career in sports, it's kind of like, do I want to be a part of that type of culture?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You be the guy that uncovers it, Jay. That could be your mission.
I'll be an investigative reporter. What you mean? Hey, I'll be busting. Oh, so tell me, Mr. Sarver, about your, oh, okay.
Let me write that down. Let me jot that down. Say that one more time, sir. Okay. Just want to make sure I got the spelling right.
Be like the Comey rule. Be like James Comey in the office with Donald Trump. Well, I'll be writing down everything. He said this. But, AP, where does this land for you?
Man, I think that I'm going to stop saying I think that. I've been watching the shows, and I feel like I start every sentence, but I think that. So I'm going to say that 70-plus players later, it's not a question of if, it's a question of what and when. It's more so getting down to the specifics. I noticed that in a lot of the statements and things that he was saying that there was a lot of acknowledgement, but not a lot of accountability. There was he went out of his way to make a whole statement about, how the N-word is not part of his vocabulary. I'm going to go on record saying that there are way more ways to be divisive and racist without saying the word. You know what I mean? Like, I think that people feel like, well, I didn't say the word.
I would never say that.
I may have hinted around to these young hoodlums, the brothers.
There you go.
You know, but I never said the word. And I think that people feel like they get a pass for being PC.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right. I mean, there's a systemic and pervasive. It's a pervasive issue. It's widespread. And now, you know, him also having ownership in the WNBA, it creates a bigger problem because the misogyny, you know what I mean? You can't be linked to stuff like that in a women's league. It's just not okay. And then from my understanding, it was part of the complaint was pictures of his actual wife that he was, you know, passing around. And this is just one source. You know what I mean? Of course, there may have been other things that may have been a part of the allegation. But, I mean, I love my wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I know you love yours. So it's certain things that, you know, like, I'm not doing amongst friends, no matter how cool I'm trying to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that, man, and it's not the first time with the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, this is the 2021 Sterling. You know, like we talked about. This ain't new. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, there has to be a line drawn in the sand for these players, but more importantly for these leagues and national sports where we can't continue to accept it. And it has to be a hard line in the sand, and it should be some clear ground rules. And I know that they have some morality clauses and things of that nature, and you know, ethics and all that kind of stuff. But this shouldn't be a conversation,
right? You
know what I'm saying? When stuff comes out, I mean, I know that they have to do the investigation of everybody who's innocent until proven guilty, but impact these people's pockets immediately.
Yeah,
immediately. You can get it back. You got enough money to pay your checks, you know what I'm saying, in the interim. But impact these people's pockets immediately. Remove them from showing up. You know what I mean? I don't want to see them at board meetings. I don't want to see them in their special seats or wherever. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't have any access to these players or the game while these investigations are going on. They have to make it hurt somewhere. And right now, it's just like, hey, while we dealing with it, like, hey, just keep your mouth closed, and hopefully nothing else comes out, and hopefully nothing, you know, damaging or damning becomes of this, and then we can talk. But you can't put stuff out in the air and expect for people not to have already breathed it.
Yeah.
Like, I taste it. I already taste it.
Oh,
you can't pull it back, and unfortunately, that's the part of cancel culture that I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate when there's when everybody knows about what's going on and we're trying to fight for, like, I think we talked about it too. I'm looking for the accountability, especially in circumstances like this. There's no gray area as it pertains to racism, sexism, misogyny. Those things in today's culture, we got to put a stop to it. Yeah. And it has to start at the head. Like, it's these are people's livelihoods. These men got wives, they got daughters, you know what I mean? And locker room stuff, I think that it's old school news. Yeah. But we just really living in the past in a lot of areas, and we got to stop.
Yeah, 100%. Well put, AP. Well put. I agree with you 100%. It just needs to end, because when we're dealing with this, like you said, there's so many people who are involved in this. Not only the people who are being paid to play, but the people behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And they're the ones who have to deal with it. The faces of the franchise have to deal with it publicly, but the people behind the scenes have to deal with this privately. And when you're not able to express how you feel publicly, how much weight are you carrying around on the normal day-to-day? Like, how does this affect your daily life, your daily routine, make you feel about your spouse? You know, because think about it. If you are at a stressful job, sometimes it can creep into the house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it can make things ugly.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's a lot of people involved, and unfortunately the toxic culture within the professional sports world, it affects everyone, unfortunately, but it needs to be changed. Something has to give at this point, especially with the load of news that we have gotten over the past month and a half. Like something that has got to change. Yeah. Adam Silver, do your job.
Get on it. Get on it, Adam.
You told Donald Sterling to sell his team. You better tell old Robert Sarver, hey, bruh, you don't own this team no more.
And selling, like, I mean, that's part of my thing too. Like selling, take that.
Yeah.
Take it.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure there's some gray areas there, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like.
Well, I think how it works, they can vote on it. And as long as they have the votes, they're good. And in the NBA, it's going to be unanimous. Yeah. They're going to be like, hey, look, you ain't putting me in between my players and my talent. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to know who I voted for. So, I ain't doing that. He gone, bruh. It won't be long.
But that should be a rule. That should be part of the standard. If you get caught up in these investigations, like, I'm not going to allow you to profit from the negativity and the culture that you've created. I'm not going to allow you to profit from it. Because at the end of the day, even if they sell their teams, like, it's a positive outcome for them. Like, they're making a profit from selling these teams off. From, take it from them.
Yeah.
Take it from them. You're expelled from this league. We don't want nothing to do with you. You can't buy in. You can't be a part of a group that buys in. Like you excommunicated from the sport.
Man, I wish. I really do wish.
It's too easy to do it. You just got to make it happen.
Well, it's they can't stop them from getting money from selling the team. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. They're going to get a reward regardless. Like, I mean, just the valuation of some of these franchises, it's like $1 billion, and they're going to make residual off of that, which, I mean, they're smart businessmen. That's the best thing you could probably say about them. They're smart businessmen. I'm not trying to give you scumbags any credit here, but, that's the slippery slope of professional sports. You can always take off the top. But you know that the top, once you take him off, he's going to be chilling in Cabo or something like that.
I done got my car repossessed, and I done paid into it.
Hey.
They'll take something. If they can take it from me.
They can take it from you, too.
They can take my house. Take this man's team. Figure it out. Somebody figure it out.
Somebody, please.
What else we got today, Jay?
AP, you know what time it is?
What? Nuh-uh.
It's time for
Nuh-uh.
Salute to Kelly because he's gonna miss this episode, or this edition. But it is time.
Tell him.
For your favorite segment of the week. It is time for Go Crazy or Simmer Down. Here we go.
Let's go.
All right, first things first, AP. LeBron James is scheduled to miss some times due to an abdominal strain, and his Lakers lost a close one to the Oklahoma City Thunder the other night, 107-104. Are we going crazy on the Lakers, or are we simmering down right now?
I'm going to go ahead and go crazy, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because LeBron's gone. You know what I mean? I think that we talked about it before. I mean, he's an elder gentleman at this point as far as, like, league maturity. He's expected to have some injuries. He's had some. And, I mean, literally, he's already missed 2 games for a different injury, and now he's back out with another. So I'm going to go crazy because now we're depending on Davis and Russell to really step up. And this is kind of what we talked about last week. Russell got to be that man now. Russell got to be the man, and nobody really sees Russell as that man. And Davis actually sustained a slight injury last week against the Thunder as well. So we could really see him not playing at his best. We got these teams coming up. I mean, they got 4 or 5 games coming up in the week. Yeah. Not even going into the potential next week. This could knock the already out of the top Lakers even lower. OKC beat them. They're due to face the Portland and Lillard and Portland coming up here, and they're above OKC. I don't see this ending well. I don't see it happening, and they don't have their zhuzh. They've been having to make these on the spot transitions and fixing it. I don't think that they can. It's too much, too late.
I gotta go with you. I am going crazy here because we all know what the Western Conference can be. especially towards May, June. It gets really, really tight. And if you aren't winning games early in the season, it can really affect your seeding or you possibly getting into the playoffs. Now they have the play-in tournament, thank God. But the Lakers going into this season were the favorite to win the NBA championship. So I'm going crazy based off of that premise. Also, there's 6 right now in the Western Conference. They are 5-4. Like you said, they have Portland. If they go on a 3-game losing streak, here are the teams who could be above them. The Clippers, who is good. They're good in the second half of the season. And they don't have Kawhi back, I don't believe.
No, they don't.
Timberwolves, they're playing better with Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Those guys are meshing. The Trailblazers, we know what they can do.
Oh, yeah. They can take it.
The Thunder, they're only 2 victories. They're only 2 victories against the Lakers. Oh, my God. This is insane. I'm sorry. And then you look at the top of the Western Conference. You have the Utah Jazz, Golden State Warriors. Surprisingly, we're going to get to that later on in the show. The Mavericks sitting at the 3rd seed. And then you have the Grizzlies and the Suns sitting at the 4th, 5th seed.
Hit them.
So you have a bevy of teams who are much better than you, much younger than you, who could run the second half of the season table. I'm going crazy here. I said it from the beginning. If they lose early, LeBron James needs to find a new team. Go play with somebody else. Go play with Stephon Marbury in China.
Go play with your friends.
Go play with your friends, sis. All right, this is the another NBA topic. We are NBA heavy so far for the show. Reportedly, Ben Simmons is claiming that he is focusing on his mental health, but is refusing 76ers help during this battle that he's going through. AP, we going crazy or are we simmering down here?
I'm going to simmer down. I think that mental health is the most sensitive thing that you can deal with. If you got the money and you don't, I don't need my job to pay for my health care. If there's anything that I don't want people having access to and digging into, it's going to be my mental health.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he had a broken toe, oh yeah, pay for that. That's probably y'all fault. This mental health, although it may be y'all fault, especially with everything going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would probably keep those things personal as well. You know, I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, I need some time for this, but I just really don't want y'all to be involved. I don't want y'all in my business. I don't want y'all to have access to my records. You know, I don't know what the HIPAA stuff is like at the NBA level, but at the end of the day,
She said the HIPAA.
I'm dead ass.
Yeah, for real. You ain't never lied.
Because they're gonna want to use their people.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And regardless, like, I just feel like everything that we're talking about systemic, it's built for them, by them, to keep everything in house. And I mean, I don't know what their options are and what they're offering him, but at the end of the day, I applaud that man. Like, regardless, whatever, if he say it's mental, let it be mental. I'm all for these players who making money to decide when and how they want to be paraded around. You know what I'm saying? If he need to take some time, take your time, Ben. We're not gonna miss you.
We're not gonna miss you. Can't hit no 3-pointers. Just can't be a part of my team. So you actually just opened up my eyes a little bit, KP. AP, say KP.
You miss Kelly that much, huh?
No, I was thinking about Kristaps.
Let him go, Jay. Let him go. He'll be back.
Jack.
Rose.
Oh man, AP. So I'm gonna simmer down with you. Reason being, I didn't look at it like that. I didn't look at it like that. But now that we open the show with some stuff at the top, I can't help but think about the Deshaun Watson situation. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as he said he wanted a trade, something negative happened. I'm not going to say that they are the reason why. I think it's very suspicious that some of this stuff happened when he said that. So in Ben Simmons' case, I do think that that's smart because you're trying to get out of Philadelphia. Last thing you want a physician, last thing you want a therapist, last thing you want is anybody within that organization to know your inner thoughts. Because if that's the case, it's going out to the public. 100% guaranteed. And they're going to say it's an anonymous source here that says this about Ben Simmons. So you opened up my eyes there. I didn't even think about that, but then I had to go back and think about what Deshaun Watson did and how it panned out till now with him, still wanting out of Houston, but these cases are constantly just piling on. So I'm going to leave it at that with Deshaun Watson. This was good right there. I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, I'm simmering down with you, AP. You opened up my eyes. Definitely opened up my eyes.
Thank you. They looked closed. I didn't know if you was asleep. Wakey, wakey.
Wakey, wakey. Eggs and bakey.
I was going to say it, but I knew you was going to come with the alley-oop.
Hey, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So this is straight for AP right here. Derrick Henry sustained a foot injury on Sunday. Come on, let me finish this. On Sunday, it could possibly miss the rest of the season. His official ruling is indefinitely, so we don't know if he comes back this season, but it doesn't look great. Titans signed Adrian Peterson and do not plan to change their game plan or the offensive identity. AP! How we feel?
I mean, Henry was the Titans by every measure. He was their offense. Based off statistics, I think he makes up like 35% of like the offensive performance this season. I mean, he's by literally carried the team on his back. I mean,
she's hurting right now.
out of 200 some odd runs, he did 200 some odd of them.
She's in pain.
This is a hit, bro. This is a hit. That's why I'm rocking my Titans colors today in honor of my boy D. Henry. Honestly, I'm going nuts. I'm going nuts, and it's not in a good way. I want to say simmer down so bad, Jay. I want simmer down to be like, I want to turn the pot all the way down to like low, not even on the one. I wish this wasn't a topic today, but unfortunately, this is where we are.
I just wanted your input. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, AP.
So obviously I'm going crazy. We were there by every outlet. Tennessee Titans top 2. I ain't gonna say every outlet. I saw you biting your little lip anyway. But we up there. There's no reason why the Titans would not have been Super Bowl contenders this season. I said it day one. I'm crushed. But with Adrian Peterson, they gain experience. He's a former Pro Bowler. Even last year, he played the whole season. He didn't get action, but he played, so he's healthy. And I think that he has those things on his side, but he's old. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's like 13th or 14th person in history to freaking be
for rushing yards. You're right.
To be a running back at his age. Yeah. And I mean that could be detrimental. You know what I mean, to the season. But if you had to pick somebody to kind of pick it up, they had some options. I don't know all of them. Like I say all the time, I'm not your historian. I'm not your stats guy. I don't know what else is out there. But Henry, rest up, my brother. We hope to have you back soon, although he just had surgery on Tuesday. Well, it's going to be a minute, and anything can happen.
I'm here to brighten your day, AB.
Right.
Please. Because I'm going to tell you to. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm going to tell you to simmer down.
Okay, please, give me more.
The reason why I say simmer down, because the good news is the Titans are still 6-2. They're first in the AFC South. So if they win out or if they lose, let's say 2 more games, they may have the best record in the AFC. I mean, the AFC really isn't that heavy at the top right now. I mean, you have the Raiders, you have Buffalo. Buffalo's probably, going to be the number 1 seed. Y'all can still get the 2nd seed. So that creates a timeline to where Derrick Henry can be out for 60 days and he comes back in a time where he dominates. Maybe a little bit slow, albeit, but you have Derrick Henry in January when it counts. When it's snowing outside, nobody can throw the football. You give it to that bulldozer back there, he's going to run it. So, big praise go out to Derrick Henry. I'm not laughing because I don't like promoting injuries. That's not something I do. But I'm laughing because I'm giving AP a hard time more than anything. But I do. It's a simmer down mode right here because there is time still remaining in the season for Derrick Henry to come back. So I think y'all be fine. I think y'all finish second or third seed in the AFC, and Derrick Henry comes back for the playoffs.
We're going to leave it on a high note, Jade. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I was down bad right here.
Hey, there we go. And you know, I'm always here to promote somebody. If it was my Cowboys, she would kick me while I was down. Anyways.
I've been gassing you all season. All season I've been like, hey, I'm gonna lay on the sword. Y'all doing good.
That's
and you're
true.
still doing good.
Just jump
For
that
now.
bandwagon. Jump that bandwagon.
Nah, I'm stay where I'm at. We still scrape. You just told me. Even though you probably lying, you probably want me to put
I'm
some money
simmering
on.
down. I'm simmering down. I promise. I ain't, no BS here. No BS.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I promise.
When we move down there, we gonna see you on
We're
game
gonna see
day.
you. We're gonna see you again on site. On site.
On the gridiron.
On the grid. All right, so final topic for this edition of Go Crazy Simmer Down. So Zion Williamson has been sidelined due to ongoing injuries, but most people think it is attributed to his weight. I don't know if y'all saw like our clip. We kind of talked about this last week before the show, but that was not a part of the show. That was BTS, to be honest with you. But are we going crazy here, AP, or are we simmering down?
I'm gonna go and simmer down because I think that it's accurate. I think that it takes a little while longer to heal when you got a little bit more
jelly
to work with. When we did talk about it. You know, I think that the difference in Zion and another powerhouse like a LeBron James or like a Shaq is that you got to be able to carry that weight. You know what I mean? And he's playing. I mean, he's always played at a very physical level, and I think that right now at this level in the NBA, you gotta be able to move to work that jelly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can have the big nipples, but you gotta know what to do with them.
Oh my God!
Can't just have them poking out like that, Zion.
Put a bra on.
Put a bra on and do some push-ups. Hit the gym, my brother. But I mean, I'm not gonna fat shame him. I'm thicker than a Snicker myself.
Hey, fat shame. He needs to lose weight if he wants to play basketball.
If he want to play basketball, he gonna have to lose some weight. And I mean, and it'll just be better for him. If he can do it, he can trim down. And you don't gotta get small.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just tone that weight into muscle and continue to use that body. Like, I mean, I think that he is a powerhouse. I love Zion. I think that he's dope. I think that he got GOAT potential and he's young. So, I mean, he got a long way to go in this industry. So I really look forward to Zion getting healthy and getting back out there. But them nipples got to go down, son. You got to deflate the nips. And we going to see you on game day, Zion. Come on back, my brother.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, I'm going to simmer down. I think that it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to go crazy because #1 overall draft pick. You can't miss time. Your team depends on you. You are the box office. You are the reason why the fans come out. And if you aren't taking care of business in the offseason and staying in shape, that is a bad sign. You are being paid by Nike. You are being paid by the New Orleans Pelicans. You have so many other endorsements. You also are responsible for the fan engagement since you are the best player on the team. They're not coming to Pelican games to see, I don't know who's on the roster. Brandon Ingram? They're not coming to see him. They're coming to, they're not coming to see you, Otis.
Lonzo gone. We ain't got Lonzo. We need you, Zion.
We need you, Zion. Nobody coming to the Smoothie King Center to get smoothies. They coming to see Zion Williamson. So I'm going crazy because of that. If you are and my expectation does not change. Availability is your best ability.
Ooh.
And if you are the number 1 overall pick, you have very little room for any error, to be honest with you. You should be in the building. You should be performing. I don't want to hear about Zion being as good as LeBron James until he gets this under control.
Word.
Because LeBron James has invested millions and millions of dollars into his physique since he's been in the league.
And his hair.
And his hair, yeah. She got me. She got me good. She got me good.
Get out of my brain. You don't live here.
Well, that concludes this edition of Go Crazy and Simmer Down. Again, we want to thank you guys for rocking with us, man. It's been fun. Of course, we gotta hop into some topics here before we get started. Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta give y'all Joe's locks. So I'm gonna give y'all Joe's locks before we get into the show because Joe is a busy guy. Joe never has time anymore.
Money.
Hey.
Good problem to have, Joe.
Yeah. I ain't tripping
Let me
on
borrow
him.
$5, Joe.
Let me hold some, bro. Let me hold some.
Buy me some J's.
Buy
Joe.
me some J's, Joe. He all out here in the streets, in the media streets, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So here's Joe's locks. So Joe has Wake Forest winning. Take the plus 2.5 spread. He has Michigan winning or taking the points -3. Then he has Kentucky money line. He has the Patriots minus 3.5. And then he has the Chargers minus 1.5. Again, I'll repeat those. For Wake Forest, he has take them plus 2.5. For Michigan State, take them -3. Take Kentucky money line. Take the Patriots minus 3.5. And then take the Chargers 1.5. Those are Joe's locks. So he's busy, man. Joe's like, you got to pay for appearances now, it feels like.
Walk through. I'll be feeling like the man when I walk through.
Hey.
What you saying when I walk through. Man, I just want to be Joe. I should have been Joe for Halloween.
That's-
just give me a taste of Joe.
Man, that would be dope.
Pause.
We all could like dress up as Joe. That would be
Joe
funny
Day.
as hell. That would be funny as hell. So to start this part of the show off, there's been some recent news in the NFL. A big bombshell dropped later this week. Odell Beckham Jr. was released by the Browns on Friday morning, and it took some time. It took about 48 hours for him and GM Andrew Berry to discuss some things about his release, negotiating the premise of his release, and it finally happened on Friday morning. And the question is, everybody's trying to figure out is, what is next for OBJ? What is next for him? And in my opinion, I think that OBJ could play anywhere that he wants to play. I mean, he could go to Las Vegas. He could go to New England. I wouldn't go to Tampa because he's going to be crowded there. He could go to the Saints. Mm-hmm. He could go to the Panthers. He could do whatever he wants. It's his decision now, and he's able to make it. So, AP, what do you think is next for OBJ?
I'm not worried about him. He got a home somewhere. Where that home may be is the question. Like you said, I believe it's like Saints, Patriots, Raiders, I think.
And 49ers, I think.
Yeah, there are some teams that could benefit from him. I mean, I don't know. I think that I don't know where he's going to end up. I think that he's a character wherever he goes, and he still has great potential. I mean, he's young, 29. I'm not worried about him. I hate to say that. I mean, I think that it's jacked up what happened. And it was obviously not, it wasn't an amicable split.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that anytime somebody say, hey man, just stay at the house. just chill at the crib.
Chill.
Just chill. We gonna send over some DoorDash. You don't got to come to practice. Everybody else come. Like when they start leaving you out the group text messages, you know,
That's bad.
when he show up at the mall and everybody's there and they dressed like, hey guys, why didn't nobody text me? You know, I think that he probably got the message a long time ago that there was some issues. I mean, from my understanding, it's been a couple seasons long with him and Mayfield, you know, butting heads. I don't think it was a surprise for him as much as it was like the rug pulled up from under him. I think that he probably thought that he could work it out with the Browns. But I'm not worried about his future. I think that if Adrian Peterson can, you know, at his age can get a gig, Odell gonna be all right.
He should be all right.
He should be.
But I think the biggest thing that he's trying or that people are looking for is the resurgence of his talent. Because he hasn't been great since New York.
True.
And since he hasn't been great with since New York, he's been injured. He hasn't gotten along with the quarterback. So his recent track record isn't that great. And I think that's the shame in all of this. I really believe that if given the chance, OBJ can prove that he is not the best or one of the best receivers in the NFL. He just needs a shot.
Yeah.
That's all he needs. He needs a shot. But I wouldn't put him in a room with a lot of shining stars already because we saw what that did in Cleveland. I mean, it diminished his value.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he was the best, in my opinion, he was the best receiver on the team, but he wasn't available. So what happened? More receivers started climbing up that depth chart.
Right.
And then you had Jarvis Landry who was there. Then you had David Njoku. Then you have Austin Hooper. You have Kareem Hunt. You have Nick Chubb. Those are a lot of mouths to feed. That's a lot. Like, he needs to be primary receiver number one. That's where he thrived. I think if he lands in a position like that, he could bounce back. I think the New Orleans Saints or the Baltimore Ravens would be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think the Baltimore Ravens over the Saints because you have Lamar Jackson, a dynamic playmaker, a guy who extends plays with his feet and can point out, hey, go deep. I'm throwing it. Odell, we know his speed. We know his talent. We know how quick he is. He's out. Touchdown, Lamar Jackson, Odell Beckham. It'll be like money. With the Saints, they need a target. They need receivers, especially with Taysom Hill coming back from this injury and probably not playing this weekend. But Trevor Siemian, who's a journeyman throughout the NFL, he's going to get the start for the Saints. They need some weapons too. And he's from New Orleans.
Ooh.
I mean, homecoming, that's not a bad thing, you know?
That could be the perfect picture for him.
It could. But I think the cards are in Odell's hands now. What do you want the best? And also I think New England would be a dope place for him to go.
Yeah.
It's cold as hell in Boston. But
it'll be a change for him.
You get to play with Bill Belichick, who already respects your talent and the caliber of player that you are. You get to play with Mac Jones, who's a rookie quarterback who needs that additional help. You could be the biggest thing on that offense. But Odell Beckham doesn't need to be in a room full with a plethora of wide receivers.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to happen.
And that one thing about the Patriots, I mean, I love the Saints dynamic. I love that story. You know what I mean? Like, ideally, he can go to the Saints and finish out his career. You know what I mean? Like, that would be like the perfect end-all be-all for a cat like himself. You know what I'm saying? Going into his 30s, you know what I'm saying? 30s in NFL years is, you know, he pushing.
Oh, he
you know
just turned 29 on Friday.
Right. And it's so sad as I sit here about to be 35 talking about, woo, that's an old man right there.
Hey, we still in our prime. Chill.
But I'm not getting busted up. You know what I'm saying? Day over day. So I mean, honestly, that Saints dynamic, that would be a beautiful, Cinderella story for him. You know what I mean? For him to be able to go home and finish at a place where he started it all. You know what I mean? But in New Orleans, not with the Saints, to be clear for those. I just think that he got to take this time where he's in this, this crosshair to really prime it up. Really focus on him, get some introspect, and just kind of dive into how he can be the Odell that we knew and loved. The one hand with the fingertips
against my Cowboys.
Ooh.
Hello there.
You But yeah, I think that's that on that. I mean, shout out to you, Odell. Good luck. I mean, he shouldn't have to be in the buddy shirt, with the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like they pushed the Mayfield Odell scenario, trying to make it work. And I think that if there's no cohesion, you can't force it. You know what I mean? Go somewhere where you're gonna be happy. Go somewhere where you fit. Go somewhere where you can continue to be who we know you can be.
You know where Odell needs to go? He needs to go to a place with some beaches, some models. That's what he is. What is? That's where he needs to go. That's where he needs to go. New York City, L.A. He'll be happy. I'm just saying, speaking to the person that he is. You see his vlog, you see him on social media. That's just what he enjoys. It's not saying like, oh, he's just out here just shaboyking, any and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that he enjoys company like that.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with going and doing that. If you're going to be happy and you're going to do what you love. Yeah. Or if you're all about football, make a smart football decision. Like think about quarterback, think about team, think about record, think about coach. Because this could be it, right? This could be it. This could be it for Odell Beckham Jr. If he gets injured one more time, we saw Dez Bryant flame out, one of my favorite receivers.
Oh, yeah.
And he's decided not to play any longer. But before that, it was like he couldn't get in anywhere besides New Orleans. I see this as the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think that Odell Beckham needs to go somewhere, like you said, where he's happy, where he can do what he enjoys and what he loves all in the same time. But it's not happening in Cleveland. That's for sure. It's 100%. I mean, it's
done. It's obviously.
Would you want to play for the Browns?
I mean, I would. I was surprised when he went to the Browns.
I mean, just think about it like this: if you were in a foreign country and somebody was like, "Yo, there's a team in America called the Cleveland Browns. You want to play for them?"
No, I don't even know what a Brown is. Like, I'm not being funny, but
that's what I'm saying.
I'm about to Google. What is their mascot? I don't think I've ever.
It's a dog. It's the dog pound. So they have the Browns, but they also go by the dog. It's confusing. It's confusing.
When you got to make up a mascot, I don't want to come, okay? I don't want to be there, okay?
How you the dog pound? What, you the dog pound with the dog brown?
That's what I don't want to be there.
AP said, it's not sanitary for me.
It's not sanitary. It's giving me baby wipes in the bathroom stall. Okay?
I'm writing it down. It's not sanitary for me here. That's going to be the name of the show. Because we talked about some toxic shit today.
Definitely did.
It's not sanitary for me here. And y'all think I'm playing. Oh, my gosh.
That is hilarious.
All right, P, I think we have some well-put thoughts on Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's going to find a place that he can win a ring. All right, so this is the meat and potatoes of the show right here, folks, because this happened, and Aaron Rodgers happened earlier this week, tested positive for COVID-19, and he will miss time, about 14 days, due to this positive test. Because he is immunized and not vaccinated. I didn't know humans were dogs. Immunized. He was immunized, meaning that he took holistic treatments in order to boost his immunity towards COVID-19. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was eating bat eyeballs, bat chitterlings, bat bacon. I don't know.
Booty. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll write that down. Bat booty. Okay. Bat booty. That was good. But he's going to miss time. He's going to miss a substantial amount of time, possibly the next 2 weeks. Jordan Love is getting his first start on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. a chance for Patrick Mahomes to get the Chiefs back over 500
Yeah.
in the AFC West, which is already loaded. It's going to be crazy on Sunday. It's going to be insane. But for this, with Aaron Rodgers, here's my thing. This is my issue with Aaron Rodgers. He didn't have to lie. He ain't got to lie, Craig.
You ain't got a lot to kick it.
He ain't got to lie. He did not have to lie, and he did not have to make it worse for his team. Mm-hmm. Think about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was one of the ones, Cole Beasley also, were two of the ones who were like, yo, I'm not taking this vaccine. I don't care what you say. Mm-hmm. But I will follow the protocols that the NFL has set forth so we can win football games.
Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers failed on that obligation to his teammates. When we talk about leader of men, when we talk about being captains of teams, more than anything, the biggest thing that you have to do is make sacrifices. That's what leaders do. You have to make sacrifices. You have to look into the future and say, yo, what are we doing this season? Because this isn't about this time period. For all we know, COVID could be gone in December.
Yeah.
But at least you do know that you are protected. And also, you have your teammates' best interest at heart. In this scenario, it doesn't seem like that with Aaron Rodgers. He went on the Pat McAfee show. He used some Martin Luther King quotes, bro. Say, fam, you ain't got to do that. Bruh, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And then he was like, yeah, the super woke crowd. I was like, oh, my God. He's a QAnon. He's like, he believes in the pizza parlor and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't going to dive into that rabbit hole stuff, the Trump stuff.
I got you.
Far right.
I got you.
But that's what he sounded like. He's like, he number one, you can't use Martin Luther King. You can't, number one, let me just say this. For anyone, any person that is not of color, number one, I don't want to hear you say Martin Luther King died. No, he was murdered. Number two, do not quote Martin Luther King if you are white.
You can quote. Jay didn't mean that.
No, in this context. It's just a joke. I've been watching too much Malcolm X stuff. No. For real, though, in this context, you can't use quotes from civil rights leaders
To just
inconvenience. Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
It's like, so time, place, and context. When Martin Luther King said what he said, these things were happening to the community that he was supporting. Not just him.
That part.
It was a group of people. So when you say a Martin Luther King quote, remember, he's not just speaking about him. He's not being selfish. He is considering another group of people who are in this fight with him when he quotes that. Mm-hmm. You can't use it for your convenience against your own individual preference. That's not how it works. I tell people all the time, God is for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't use religion at your own convenience. That's not what that is. That's not. In this same scenario, you can't do that. And also, I'm tired of these. I did my own research. No.
I Googled it.
But you tell me you're immunized? What do you get? A pervo shot?
Measles, mumps, rubella.
For real? How are you immunized? Somebody took the COVID-19, put it in a jar, and put it in your nose, and you holistically just got through it? Like, there are rules, there are guidelines that you have to stay within. And if you aren't doing that, the book is out. This can affect your team.
Yeah.
This can affect championship hopes. That trophy that you get paid millions and millions of dollars to play for, it can affect that. So, again, he didn't have to lie. AP, I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this because I think it's crazy.
Yeah, no, dead ass. He honestly, at the core of it, he didn't have to lie. I think that you nailed it. He's a leader. He is the leader. You know what I mean? I think that almost all football teams, your quarterback is your captain. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one. I mean, and you're Aaron Rodgers. You're that dude.
Discount double check, Aaron Rodgers.
People have goated you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you are held to a higher standard. Now, I'm gonna face the camera and I'm gonna say this. What you choose to do with your body, with your health, your medical, all that kind of stuff. Same thing like I said about Ben Simmons. It is your choice. You're right. 100%. I feel the same way about Kyrie. If you don't want to do it, I don't feel like you should have to submit to the public opinion or the public suggestion of what you do with your body. And that's that on that. However, when you put other people, let me back it up, not even about other people, when you put yourself above your team so that you can go out there and play, you can continue to make a name for yourself, or whatever the reason. I mean, I'm sure he had great intentions. I'm not going to speak to what his intentions were. But when you put yourself above everyone else and say, you know what, I'm worried about me and my impact to these people versus my impact on these people if I'm not following these protocols. I mean, literally, it could be too late. I mean, I don't know, like, the testings and how long that stuff takes. From my understanding, he was tested daily. And it's nasal spray, from my understanding, what he's been taking.
My God, he been taking Claritin, talking about immunized by Claritin.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get out there. You know what I'm saying? But you're in a huddle, like inches from people's face every day.
Yep.
Practice, locker room. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, you're doing it so you don't have to wear a mask. Dude, like, if you don't want to get vaccinated, cool. Like, nobody's saying you got to do that, but wear the mask if that's the requirement. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to wear the mask, then pull a Kyrie. Say, you know what? I'm going to put my standards above my paycheck and above everything else. And I'm going to take this L. I'm going to step out. I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing because I just don't feel comfortable, subscribing to this way. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. You're going to get flack. You know what I'm saying? Because you're too good not to be playing. But at the same token, like, stand in your truth.
Yeah.
Stand in your truth. Put your, you know what I'm saying, be 10 toes into it. Like, whatever decision you make. What was it? There's this thing, and I've been saying, my wife is going to probably be so annoyed with me saying it because I've been saying it on repeat. You are either all the way in or you're all the way out.
Boom.
If you have to think about it, then you're halfway there. Go all the way.
I love that.
Go all the way. Like, whatever you're going to be, make a decision, pick a side, do what you're going to do. No one's going to judge you for your decision. They're going to judge you for your actions. They're going to be mad that you're not playing, but nobody's going to be like, hey, man, well, you know what? He stood up, and that's his decision. I respect Kyrie 1,000%. He made a decision.
Be convicted.
And he's not putting other people at jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in COVID, if you don't believe in people getting sick or, the spread of it or the seriousness, that's your own personal choice. But if you want to play in a league where they have certain protocol, if I want to go to work every day, I could be a raging alcoholic. Mm-hmm. But the day I show up to work drunk as heck,
yeah,
I almost
used it. Oh, you got to say for Christmas, AP.
If I show up to work drunk off my ass, then that's probably my last day at work.
Yep.
What I do at home, that's me at home. But you got to think about the people that you're impacting. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this stuff has already spread, and we already know how that can go. One person got it. Somebody else probably got it. It's probably ramifications for the whole team at this point.
AP with the full 16 bars, yo. Like, oh my God. The word I use is conviction. I told somebody the other day, I can respect you if you stand in your conviction and you believe this and you don't budge. I can respect that. But the minute that you step off that ledge, the minute that you're like Ray and Clyde in life, and you start wiggling on the water bottles, oh, bro, that's the thing too. If he didn't have to lie, I respect people who are convicted in their own opinion, who stand on their 2 feet and they don't bend.
Right.
Like Dave Chappelle. I love that. I'm not bending for nobody. 100%. Don't do it, bro. Because you're convicted in what you believe in. 100%. But when it comes to groups of people and playing a sport, when there's rules and you have to follow those rules, you have to understand that if you don't follow those rules, there's going to be consequences. Every time. Every time. I tell my daughter that all the time. There are going to be consequences to things that you sign up for. Maybe just like the law. You go into a store and you steal? Oh. Consequences. Same thing with this childish game that they play for millions of dollars.
That part. It's a kid's game,
It's a kid's game. You know what I'm saying? So, real quick, we are rounding the bases on episode 9. It's been fun. We're closing out episode 10 next week. So, you know what? Me and AP, we already got a great idea. We're not going to spoil the surprise.
Nah.
We're not going to spoil the surprise. But next week, you got to tune in because it's going to be fire.
Special episode, guys.
Special episode. We are putting sports aside, and it's time for our culture.
Kind of, we're not, though.
Kind of not. Kind of. It all coexist.
We're colliding.
Intersecting on Notes by Notes. Life, culture, sports. So real quick, Golden State Warriors, AP, are off to one of the best starts in NBA history, in my opinion, especially for a team who has went through so many adverse situations with their superstars. Klay Thompson has been out for almost a year and a half. Steph Curry missed time last year, but whenever he played, he was dominant. He was one of the best watches in the NBA. And Draymond Green actually had the yips, but it seems like Draymond Green is back. Not only that, they got younger on the bench. They got more depth. A name that people will probably recognize but not understand who it is. Gary Payton II.
The Mitten.
The Mitten. The Mitten. The Mitten is coming on for the Golden State Warriors and a lot of their rookies that they have drafted. Real quick, AP, what are your expectations for the Warriors as they sit in second place so far to start the season in the Western Conference and also have it looks like the second best record in the NBA as it stands? What do you think about that?
I think it's business as usual. We're getting that old thing back. I mean, we took some time off, even with
we
because I'm an honorary member. I'm an honorary member, and I got nothing but love for Golden State. I mean, they're only being beat by my Tennessee Memphis Grizzlies. You know, so I'm in hog heaven over here. My top 2 is banging as far as in the NBA right now. So I mean, honestly, Golden State, they can only go up once we get Klay back. I mean, he's practicing a little bit from my understanding. He's not dressing out for games, but from my understanding, he's doing some stuff on the back end. And we got the starring cast and we got the supporting players. It's gonna be a phenomenal playoff season when we get to that playoff run, because we will get there. And when I say we, I mean us, and by us I mean GS Dub. Go Dubs.
Man, I love it. I love the passion there, because you could think that you're going to – I was about to say something about the Mavericks. They're 5-3 sitting in third place, but I don't think that they're anywhere close to what Golden State is doing right now. Golden State is my favorite to win the NBA championship. I think I said it episode 2 or 1. I was like, Golden State has a chance. You said it too.
Yeah.
K-Dot was on – I think he said Golden State as well, or the Nets. The Nets is who he said, without Kyrie. So, but – I think the Golden State Warriors have an opportunity of a lifetime to recapture the magic that they had during their championship run. The best part about this is all of those players at that time were a lot younger. Now they're going to be much more experienced.
Oh yeah, that IQ.
They're entering the LeBron James realm here, because it kind of reminds me of LeBron James and that Miami Heat team, how Dwayne Wade, golly, different world. Dwayne Wade taught him how to win.
Yeah.
Right? And LeBron James took that experience and he parlayed it into championships. The best thing about the Golden State Warriors is that they built the continuity and the chemistry together.
Yeah.
And they learned how to win together. So now that adverse situations have happened over the past 3 seasons, since their last NBA championship appearance against the Toronto Raptors, now they have a chance to display how much experience they have and how dominant they can be, not only with their talent, but with the experience. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got. I wish I could speak to the whole lineup, but I mean, I know that Barnes, Green, Clay, and stuff. I mean, that's
Barnes ain't there no more.
Did he? When did he?
Barnes in Sacramento. Barnes is in Sacramento. He was there for the first 2 championships. After KD came, he left.
I thought he was. I feel like am I tripping?
Nah, Barnes isn't with the Golden State Warriors anymore.
Edit that out. No, I'm just playing.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
You keep it in.
AP knows her basketball. I'm not editing out nothing.
I feel like
Denzel.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Denzel cup punch.
Okay, well, disregard what I just said.
Yeah.
But regardless, they got the skeleton crew.
Yeah,
they got everybody they got the main people that they started with, and regardless of whoever they add to that equation, I mean, they're continuing to build on a good thing.
Yeah,
and that's, I don't know. I think that a lot of teams, when you look at the Lakers, it's a whole new squad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Brand new, and it's not the best.
It's brand new, and they're getting big names, but they're not getting big results. But now I will say, and I wanted to say it earlier, but I didn't want to take too much time and to go crazy. I know we're running out right now, but I know LeBron, and we've seen LeBron when he was with Cleveland. This exact same thing, maybe not with injuries, but the horrible season, right? The slow to start, the slow uptick, get into the playoff run, and then they dominate, and then literally can come back and take the end.
You got a point.
It's that rest season. You know what I mean? They're way too chill about these minor injuries and we just let them sit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that they're doing some stuff in practice. So I do want to kind of double it back around and say we might want to look out for the Lakers. This would not be the first time that LeBron had a bad season and come back and do something in the playoffs. It would not be the first time, and I would hate for that to happen because I'm loving what's going on with Golden State. But I would hate for Golden State to have an amazing season like the Cowboys did it.
Yeah, that's true.
Have an amazing season, and then get to the dance and lose a shoe or something. I don't know, whatever metaphor you can put there.
Lose your shoe. I'm writing that one down too. Lose your shoe. This, and real quick too, I'll make this point quick as well, AP. I think the biggest thing is that the Los Angeles Lakers have never been in a 5th seed position this early with LeBron James there. And when they haven't made the playoffs. Last year they were in a similar situation where they were on the brink and they didn't make the playoffs.
Didn't do nothing.
So with them starting this way, I do believe experience is something to be had. That's something great. But eventually, injuries, attrition is going to affect you. Experience can't keep you alive. And if you don't have youth on your bench, like Golden State had, they have talent. They got some players. The Lakers ain't got nobody. Nobody. It's empty. The cupboard the cabinet is bare. The cupboard is bare. I fucked. Oh,
yeah, that's
two. I messed that one up.
We ain't made it to 10 and you had 2.
Yeah, you're right. Dang, that means I gotta add 2 to y'all, right?
Oh, I'm saving all mine for one episode.
It's gonna be our New Year's episode. Watch. If that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. But I really do think that Los Angeles just doesn't have I don't think that they can start behind the 8 ball and work themselves up into the contender category at this point, because Utah's always strong late in the season. Golden State's always strong when they get in the rhythm late in the season. Dallas is kind of questionable. I don't know what they'll be in March or April. Phoenix, fresh off an appearance in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So they got some teams they got to deal with first.
Touche.
So I mean, experience is great. I just don't think that they're as talented as the people ahead of them.
We know LeBron's IQ though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We know his IQ. We know the long game that he plays, especially in these scenarios. So I'm excited to see what happens as we get deeper into the NBA season.
100%. Yo, that's going to do it for episode 9, season 3. Notes by Notes. Let's go. We're almost at 10, AP.
Hey, we're going to have a 10th episode. Tune in. I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna want to catch up with us, man. Catch up with us on episode 10. It's gonna be litty.
Yo, we are gonna chill big time. We got a big surprise in store for you guys on the 10th episode. Like AP said, we want to thank you guys for rocking with us right here on Facebook and YouTube for the past hour. It has been a pleasure. If you haven't done so, please like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, share with your mama, your friends, your auntie, your uncle, your nephews, your cousins. Thanksgiving is around the corner. You're going to see some people around the table that you're going to fellowship with, and you're going to want to share what we got going on in Notes by Notes. So please do us that favor. One time for the one time, let me give a shout out to A to Z for Skin and Hair. Please give them a call if you are interested in their products at 469-674-5567. Excuse me. Once again, that's 469-674-5567 if you are interested in their products. AP, you got anything else before we close it out?
Nah, man, just tap in. You know, I say it every week. Tap in with us, man.
For sure. Hey, we miss our homie K-Dot. He'll be back in another 2 weeks. But until next week, I'm Jay Noakes. That's AP. This has been another edition of Notes by Noakes. We are out.
Let's go.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Notes by Noakes. Notes by Noakes is also available on Anchor FM, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify.